Welcome to the Queer Confidence Podcast, the podcast to help you become your most confident queer self. I'm your host, he, she, they, Coach Alex Ray, and I haven't always been this confident. In fact, I used to be super insecure. And through this show, I want to share with you what's worked for me, my clients, and my guests so that you can become more confident. Hello. What's up, unicorns? I hope you're having a phenomenal Thursday. We're going to talk about loving your inner bitch today. What a title, huh? Loving your inner bitch. I can't fucking wait to talk about this with you. It's going to be so much fun. You might have heard, like, other people, I think, call this your inner critic, or you might have also heard of a saboteur, and the inner bitch, that I like to call it that, is definitely a form of these. And it's the name that I have given that internal voice that I have that likes to be real bitchy to either other people or to myself in order to defend. And so we're going to approach our inner bitches today from a standpoint of love and compassion and talk about why they're here, what they're here to help us with, and just make friends with them. Because the more we use shame or judgment against them, the stronger they prevail. So I want to start it off by just telling you a little story that was really, at the time, extremely embarrassing, or I don't know. It was very hard for me to admit at the time. And so we're several months later now, and I would love to share this story with you all now. So some of you may remember back in January, I joined a coaching mastermind with my coach, Stacey Bayman. And in this mastermind, part of the work that we were assigned to do was to do peer coaching with the other coaches in the mastermind. And I wrote this post, and we have a Facebook group with all of us in it during our mastermind time so that we can help each other out and coach each other and just post our questions and stuff. And so I wrote this on January 15th. So, I don't know, almost 6 months ago. That's crazy. And I'm going to share that with you now. I'm just going to read word for word my post, and then we'll talk about it. So I wrote, working through the shame around inner defensive bitchiness due to shame. Oh, no, this is my own note. Okay, so here's the actual post. That was like the title of that. All right, so here's the actual post. I had an epiphany today. My inner bitchy, insecure voice was saying, I am totally on board with giving peer coaching, but I am not going to receive it. And as a defense, my brain was coming up with all sorts of ways I could dismiss peer coaching given to me ahead of time. Whoa, that's a total garbage thought and action. I realize I've had a resistant thought stemming from insecurity. Quote, this is my thought, whatever peer coaching I get, it probably won't be as valuable as what Stacey gives me. So I'll play along, but not actually follow any of the coaching given to me if I don't like it. And then I wrote some unintentional models. If you work with me one-on-one, you know exactly what this is, right? So we talk about the circumstance, thought, feeling, action, and result. And so some of the thoughts that I had were, it's not that valuable, meaning the peer coaching is not that valuable. My coachability and application of the coaching determines its value. The coaching that I'm avoiding is neutral. It's not an attack. Those are some, that was a good thought that was going to be helpful. the it's not that valuable was obviously not that helpful. And then another good thought that I went to was, well, actually not a great thought. Sorry. Was arrogant people are bad. And that was me looking at myself and then judging myself. And so I finished off the post with, I'm totally open to coaching on these models and anything else. My inner child is finished with his temper tantrum. Thank you, coaches. So here's what happened. We had to peer coach. I was feeling very insecure, and I didn't want to peer coach with anyone because my insecurity was so strong. And so in order to defend and make me feel safe against shame, my brain came up with the thought, the coaching other coaches are going to give me in this mastermind isn't that valuable. The only person that can possibly give me valuable coaching is Stacy, the one who's leading the mastermind, who I paid. Now, on the surface, like, maybe this sounds bad, or maybe it doesn't sound that bad, but what was really happening underneath was my brain wanted to discredit other people in order to not listen to them. Because I was afraid that if I listened to their feedback, if I listened to their coaching, then I would feel shame. And the reason that my brain knew that I would feel shame is because shame was my most practiced reaction to coaching. Now, I've been getting coaching and doing therapy for collectively over 10 years. I think we're approaching like 11 or 12 years at this time. So I am used to getting feedback from other people, whether it's through coaching or therapy, or when I've worked in organizations, or even when I had coaches that worked for me in my old fitness business, right? I'm used to getting it. But the default that my brain likes to go to is something's wrong with me. And then I feel shame. And so I look at the coaching like it's a way to kind of hold on to an existing belief that something is wrong with me. And so I want you all, the reason I wanted to do this episode is because I want to remind you, one, that I'm human. So that's how I wanted to share that story. I still go through these things. Absolutely. That's why I'm also so good at recognizing it and teaching it and helping through it, because I don't come here at all to shame you, because I know what that's like. I've been there, and I do it myself still. And it's still something that I go through and I realize and I go, oh, shoot, there it is again. And that's the reaction that's most helpful for our brain. Instead of going to the place here, like, oh my gosh, I'm so arrogant. I'm an asshole. I'm an awful person. That's, again, just allowing my brain to keep the same belief that something is wrong with me. It's allowing me to hold on to it. So there's two levels when we're getting coaching that we have to be aware of. First, there's, why am I thinking the thoughts that I'm thinking? Well, I'm thinking those thoughts because it's a defense mechanism. It's something that's here to keep me safe. So am I wrong for thinking it? Absolutely not. No, it's here to keep me safe. That's me observing the thoughts now that I'm aware of. I didn't describe that well, right? Let's start over. So there's the original thought, like, other people's opinions suck. They're not valuable. That is to keep us safe. And then there's us observing and realizing that we have that thought. And then that version of us also would want to have compassion on that person, because naturally we're going to want to go, oh my God, look at that. Look at that shame. Shame, 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 shame. You suck because you're judging other people. So we've got two people in the room always. We've got our thoughts that are very practiced and aren't helping us anymore. And then we've got us observing our thoughts. Step one, when we're doing this work, is obviously being aware of it and noticing it. And then the second step is having compassion for it. Y'all, I was in pain when I posted this. I was so embarrassed just seeing that was the thought that was in my brain. I hated it. But I knew that if I posted it, I could get some help. And I knew that if I exposed it, if I was vulnerable, I would also have an opportunity to overcome that shame. See, when we hold things inside like this, when we protect ourselves from receiving coaching or therapy or feedback like through work or suggestions from friends, when we put up our walls to defend against those things and we hide and don't share what's really going on, I did that in therapy. I think I've told you all that on the podcast here, that when I was in therapy, it wasn't honest for the first several years because I was afraid of being fully vulnerable with my therapist. One, I didn't want to be a burden, but two, I also didn't want the tough feedback because I knew that I would shame myself. So really opening up and being vulnerable is key to overcoming it. And you know what happened when I made that post? Now remember, I literally posted, "Hi everyone, I have thoughts that all of you suck and I don't need your help. Help." Crazy, right? And I received so much love, so much gushing love from my fellow peer coaches. And that day, within only, I think, an hour or two, one of the coaches got on the phone with me and helped me work through that. And we had to start first at that layer of shame. And so this is where loving your inner bitch comes in. If you have an inner bitch like me, and that inner bitch comes up with bitchy thoughts like, other people suck, they can't possibly be helpful, or that advice is terrible, let me also attack the source of the advice. I can't stand them because of their political views, or I don't know, a bazillion other things, right? We like to discredit whatever our bitch is coming up with, to discredit the other voice, is just a defense mechanism because we're afraid of shaming ourselves if we listen to it. And so instead of attacking that inner bitch and being like, "No, you're an asshole, shut up, don't do that." No, how helpful is that? Now we've got two shaming voices. Recognize that inner bitch and go, "Hey, why are you here? I know you're here for a good reason. Oh, you're here to protect me. Oh, I've been really hurt in the past. People have said some things that really tore me down, and I internalized it. I didn't relate maybe to my parents or whoever brought me up as a kid, and I was really hard on myself. I really felt alone. I went out on a limb to try to take this opportunity, and someone just shot me down. I was so embarrassed and so hurt. Inner bitch, you are here to help and protect me. You are here to save me from the pain of what other people might say. I love you. I just want to give you a big hug. Thank you. Thank you for being here for me. Thank you for caring about me enough to protect me all these years and to help me function and get through life. And now that I know you and I see you, and now that I'm willing to be friends with you, here's the agreement I want to set up. I want you to go in the backseat. I'm going to take over the driving, and you are along for the ride. You get to be a passenger. But I get to take the ultimate say in the direction that we go. And we're going to go down some scary roads here. It's okay. I know you're going to freak out. And I know you're going to tell me all the most bitchy comments about the roads we go down and the people that are on those roads. I am here for it. You're totally allowed to be here. You're totally allowed to communicate. Please keep communicating on our drive together through life. I need you and I appreciate you. But sometimes we're going to go down these roads anyway. And you're going to be really afraid, but that's okay. Because I've got it. I am in the driver's seat. I got the steering wheel. And I'm going to take us here. And you just let me know when you're upset. And you let me know if we need to pull over and take a little potty break. Have a little temper tantrum. It's okay. I'm here for it. I'm here for you. Because we're on this journey together. I love you. I just want to give you a big, big hug. That, my queer friends, is where we want to start. We want to love on that inner bitch. They are here for a reason. They are here to help us. And when we love on them, we also open up our minds to have the opportunity to understand why they're here, what's helpful. And through understanding what's helpful, we can have compassion and love instead of shame. When has shame ever been an effective tool for change? When has shame ever been an effective tool for change? Never. So let's love on our inner bitches. Let's love on them. Let's give them a big freaking hug. Let's notice all the ways that they are popping up in our life, the way that they're being a total fucking bitch to other people and even to ourselves sometimes. And let's just give them a hug for it. It's all right. Later, we'll go together. Once we've loved it out with a hug, we'll go together. We'll get right back in the car and we'll continue on the journey. This is it, my friends. Give your inner bitch a big hug for me. I love you, and I'll see you on the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend so they too can become more confident. You can also help more people find the show by leaving a 5-star review wherever you listen. And if you want to become a more confident queer with support from yours truly, head to coachalexray.com or use the link down in the show notes. I'm looking forward to working with you.